What's good, YouTube? We are back, and today we're going to talk about the Houston Rockets, my Houston Rockets, and they have acquired Kevin Durant, the missing piece to make this team championship contenders. And I truly think that this team has the floor of making the Western Conference Finals next year, and let me tell you why. Initially, I wasn't too high on this trade. I'm not going to lie. In my initial video when I talked about Kevin Durant being traded to the Houston Rockets, I had this as a trade package centered around Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks. And I was like, honestly, bro, I'm not a fan of it. But after sitting with it for some time, I've come to the conclusion that this team is honestly just so much better than last season's. And on top of that, they fixed every single one of the holes that they have had. This team truly, I believe, has the potential to go on a championship run. And sitting at betting odds right now, they're the second highest odds to win the NBA championship, minus the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is only like a plus 500 differential, which for betting odds coming off a dominant Thunder team, a 68-win team that just won the NBA Finals, it's not too far off. We were able to trade the terrorist of the sport, Jalen Green, who in the playoffs had one good game, 38 points. I was there at pretty much a few of these games, 38 points for one of them. Every single other one, I went to that game just to see my boy Jalen Green's only score 8 points, 9 points, 10 points. It was ridiculous. He's getting paid a max contract damn near for the next season, and he was not producing. He needed to get traded. If I'm being honest, he didn't match the timeline of the Houston Rockets because the Rockets, I mean, even then, Jalen Green is 4 years into his NBA career already, and we needed someone to be able to be a closer in these playoff games. A ton of these regular season games, we saw Dillon Brooks taking the last shot, and I ain't gonna lie, bro. Dillon Brooks should not be taking no last shot in an NBA game. And I'm not even talking about that. The ball just ended up in his hands. Bro, the plays were designed around him. But can you even blame Ime Udoka? There wasn't anyone else you could even trust the ball with. A lot of those other games against the Warriors, a few of them were close games, and Alpreun Sengun just had to throw off a baby hook as the game winner when that wasn't even the best shot that we could have possibly came up with. But it just happened to be that because you have to trust Alpreun Sengun having the ball in his hands because he's your best player. We needed a closer. We needed a guy who was just going to go in there, get some buckets, and that's what we got with Kevin Durant. Fixes the entire problem with the Houston Rockets, which was the half-court offense. Who do you need to get a bucket any given time at any given moment? It's Kevin Durant. If you need a guy to just go and produce in the half-court setting, one-on-one player, isolation ball, Kevin Durant might be the GOAT of that entire topic, of that entire debate. And the Rockets just got him. And I truly think that this is the missing piece that the Rockets have been missing all along. Not to mention, we really didn't have to give up as much as other people were anticipating in this trade. If you look at some of the other trade packages that the Houston Rockets were competing against, allegedly, the Cavs were going to give up Darius Garland, which, bro, I ain't going to lie, dude. I would much rather have Darius Garland on my team than Jalen Green. But who do I know, bro? I'm not no general manager. But other teams were talking about how the Spurs were in the competition for doing it. I think that the Minnesota Timberwolves were willing to give up a lot. But this is the direction that the Phoenix Suns decided to go with. But it does make sense because we did have their 10th overall pick. But we didn't have to give up their 2027 pick. In 2027, the Phoenix Suns, I still think, are going to be the Phoenix Buns because they're probably just going to have Bradley Beal off the team. They're still going to have Jalen Green. They're still going to have Devin Booker. Does that sound like a playoff team to you in a conference that is a bloodbath like the West? That additionally is probably going to be a lottery pick unless the Suns just somehow, with the 10th overall pick, get an absolute diamond in the rough, which probably ain't happening. The Rockets are set for the foreseeable future because they were able to keep other players as well. Not only the picks, but they were able to keep a guy like Jabari Smith Jr., which was heavily rumored to be in these trade offers. And I would much rather give up Dillon Brooks. I love me some Dillon Brooks than Jabari Smith Jr. because Jabari Smith Jr., he still has tremendous upside. And if there's anyone you want mentoring and coaching Jabari, who is it? Kevin Durant himself. That is baby KD. Like, I may sound like a biased Rockets fan right now, but if you look at their build and their style of play, the jump shots, I know he's not as smooth or as maneuverable as Kevin Durant, but that's what Kevin Durant can help him produce. Just imagine the lineup. Fred VanVleet at the point. Ime Thompson finally being able to play more guard minutes rather than playing as a forward. He's able to play as his more natural position, which is a point guard, shooting guard, and he's still going to be able to lock down your team's best player any given night. After that, you have Kevin Durant coming off at the 3, generational bucket, all-time bucket, top 10 player of all time, Jabari Smith Jr. as a baby Kevin Durant, and then you have Alpreun Sengun. And dude, look at that size, bro. At the 3, 4, and 5 position, you have damn near 3 7-footers. 3 players who are damn near 7 feet tall. And they are shifty as well. They're like, I don't know, bro. This team is actually so nice. And I don't know what I was thinking initially not liking this trade. But, bro, after sitting with it for some time, I had to run some games on 2K with this team, bro. I was that's the only way. That's a true way to know if the team is actually making an upgrade. You play with them on 2K. But in all seriousness, though, not to mention, we have off the bench guys like Reed Sheppard and Cam Whitmore are going to be able to finally develop and get more minutes, bro. We had Reed Sheppard just being a certified bench warmer. He was on the bench just being good for nothing but high fives to his teammates. Reed Sheppard is a damn good player. And I see his potential being somewhat similar to a guy like Peyton Pritchard, who's able to go at that undersized position off the bench and be able to give you quality minutes, good playmaking. On top of that, some pretty much just hustle-heavy defense. He's not the biggest guy. He's not going to be able to shock the world, but he can get steals. He can go out in transition. He can get the 3. Bro, he shot 50% from 3 in college. He's finally able to get more time to develop. Cam Whitmore, just an absolute bucket. We got him as a diamond in the rough. I think he fell down all the way to like somewhere in like the 18th overall pick a few seasons ago, and he has not been able to have his time to shine. I ain't going to lie, bro. There's not a big discrepancy between a guy like Jalen Green and Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore's raw potential could be just as well and just as high as a guy like Jalen Green. And he's going to be able to finally go out there and give his game a show to the rest of the world. And I'm just so excited to see it, bro. I'm going to be able to try to go to every single Rockets game I possibly can this next coming season. I truly am stoked. And if you want to talk about the numbers, bro, we can talk about the numbers. The Rockets this season in the regular season were 24th in offense, 4th in defense. I don't think our defense took a big hit whatsoever. Yes, we had to give up Dillon Brooks, but that's not too crazy of a deal when you have a guy like Kevin Durant who low-key had some stifling defense, underrated defense for the Phoenix Suns. I know ain't nobody watching no Phoenix Suns highlights. Ain't nobody probably even watched the games of the Phoenix Suns unless you live in Scottsdale, but Kevin Durant was still producing at such a high level, not only on the offensive end, but he's still a good player defensively. I think he actually had an underrated season defensively. And probably my biggest turning point in my mind when it came to this Kevin Durant trade and realizing, damn, man, maybe this is actually a really good deal for the Rockets, was when I saw how bought in Kevin Durant was. That was my biggest concern when it came to this Kevin Durant trade, was if Kevin Durant is not motivated to hoop, if he's not determined to just give it his all, he's not going to. You saw that when it came to the Phoenix Suns. He didn't want to play for the Suns at some point. You saw it in some of those seasons with the Nets when some of the other guys went hurt. Yes, he had one amazing season, but the following year, they got swept by the Boston Celtics. Kevin Durant just was unhappy at that point, and that's why he asked out. But the fact of the matter is, when Kevin Durant is bought in, he is a top 5 player in the league. And I don't care if he's 37 years old. That guy can still hoop. Look at his stats from just last year. 26.5 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. And that's off a dismotivated Kevin Durant year. When I saw when the trade broke down, I'm so glad Kevin Durant was on stage. Look how excited he was, bro. He genuinely wanted to be a Houston Rocket. I went on Twitter and I saw some of Kevin Durant's old tweets. Bro is actually a genuine fan of visiting Houston and enjoys it being here. There's a reason why Kevin Durant wanted to come to Houston so bad. It was really his top destination. He sees that, there's a light. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is like intel on Shifties Central, okay? I went to James Harden's birthday party. No lie, I went to James Harden's birthday party. And as crazy as that sounds, he had like this event in Houston where he had like $20 a ticket. People were just able to go, and he had like a little concert that he threw. Super low key. Not too many people knew about it. Kevin Durant was there. Kevin Durant is an avid Houston visitor. He was big chilling up there. I saw him on the second row. Okay, I mean the VIP section is what I mean. He was at the VIP section up there chilling. I don't know what he was doing, but I did see him. Kevin Durant is gonna love it here, and I cannot wait for it. He's bought in. You saw how happy he was when he found out he got traded. He's already been in the lab. I know y'all seen those Instagram videos of KD already working out some random Lifetime Fitness in Houston. He's bought in, and that is what I wanted to see from Kevin Durant the most. I know he still only has 1 year left on his contract, but he said he's willing to re-sign. He said he's willing to take a pay cut, And that just makes me so excited about the potential of this team and how much that just changed my mindset, because my biggest concern was Kevin Durant being bought in or not. Clearly he is. But, man, if you agree, you disagree, if you're a Rockets fan, if you're not, if you think that we won this trade, we lost this trade, let me know down below in the comments. Let me know what y'all think of the other trades. I'm going to be dropping more videos about the Celtics situation and them just tossing everyone out of the roster and, completely retooling. The NBA draft's coming up. We're definitely going to be able to drop a video on that tomorrow. And like, comment, subscribe if y'all enjoyed. If you're still here, just know I appreciate you. And I'm going to catch you on the next one. Take care.